After centuries of evolution, there are now more than thousands of designs and shapes of Yixing teapots. To fully understand and remember them is basically impossible. But actually, we don't really need to. Because once we understand the underlying pattern, the principle behind them all, it becomes a smart shortcut to learn and appreciate each single piece. And slowly, over time, we could develop our own eyes for them. So nowadays, all these stunning, intricate styles are actually rooted in just three fundamental styles. The classic, understated elegance of the plain style, the vividly lifelike naturalistic style, and the graceful and demure like a flower bud about to bloom rapid style. Hello Yixing Teapot lovers, I'm Guanchen. Today we're gonna go through these three core styles that defines every Yixing teapots. Plain style, we also call it 光速器 in the Zisha world, is the most classic style of Yixing teapot, and for many collectors, is both the first style they fall in love with and the last one they end up cherishing the most. Its very existence is tied to an unique pottery technique, the paddle forming and slab building technique created by Master Shi Dabing during the Ming Dynasty. Is the only one of its kind in this world, now recognized as part of China's intangible cultural heritage. Within the plain style, there are two classic forms. One is the round style, warm, smooth, gentle as jade. The square style, angular, structured, exuding quiet strength. So what defines the plain style is the beauty of simplicity, no extra decoration, no distractions. What remains is the pure geometry, arcs, proportions, lines, the beauty of the form laid bare itself. The legendary Yixing teapot master Gu Jingzhou is known as the godfather of modern Zisha, while some artisans use painting or calligraphy to decorate a teapot or to hide its flaws. Gu Jingzhou dedicated his life to making plain teapots with absolutely no decoration, and we call this purest style as 裸胎, naked clay body. Is the pure beauty of line, proportion, and form that gives the teapots its spirit and presence, like a natural beauty without makeup, where every detail, every bone structure is fully and confidently visible, and that's exactly where her charmful natural temperament comes from. So when we appreciate a truly great plain teapot, we are not looking for the surface glamour. Instead, what we focus on entirely is the temperament, the inner power, what we call in Chinese qi, the vital energy of the teapot, the strength of its lines, that's the bone structure, the fullness of its curves, that's the flesh. And when bone and flesh are perfectly balanced, the teapot doesn't just look beautiful, it breathes. It has life and soul, and that inner vitality, expressed through pure geometric form, is the highest and greatest achievement of plain style. Think of it like a model. After years of training, the flowing lines of the teapot are like her posture, upright, powerful, and the elegant way when the spout releases tea. That's the moment when she's striding down the runway. So we say the plain style is many collectors where they begin, and they eventually return. So what happens in the middle? Because they were captivated by the vividly, lifelike, naturalistic style. But before we dive into this style, I'd like to introduce how the word tea is in Chinese. In Chinese, we call tea cha. The character looks like this. Now, let me break it down for you. It's made of three parts: glass on top, human in the middle, and tree at the bottom. Glass, human, tree. Now, smart as you are, you might already see something interesting going on here. The hidden meaning is this: 人在草木之间, a human being standing between the glass and trees, the nature. This is the deepest feeling that Chinese people have about tea. The highest state of drinking tea is to connect with nature through a single cup. Tea is born in the mountains and forests. We live in a busy, noisy world. A cup of tea is a bridge between the two, our way back to nature. But when tea becomes a dialogue between human and nature, a question naturally arises. Plain style expresses beauty through pure geometric form. Yes, it's elegant, it's refined. But it cannot directly present the image of the nature. The scholars and craftsmen began to yearn for something more. They wanted not just to taste the mountains and forest in their tea, but to touch the natural feeling right there on their tea table. So, naturalistic style was born. In the Zisha world, any teapot that uses sculpting techniques to imitate the forms of nature can be classified as a naturalistic style, what we called 花器 in Chinese. It directly draws from the natural world: fruits, trees, flowers, insects, birds. A plant stump teapot looks like a gnarled old plant trunk, weathered yet alive, quietly blooming. A pumpkin teapot feels like it was just picked from the field full of autumn vibe. Hold a teapot like this in your hands, just like holding a miniature piece of nature. But here's something more. Chinese literatures have always expressed their ideals and wishes through natural objects. The pine stands for resilience. Bamboo represents humanity. The pumpkin, with its countless seeds, carries the ancient wish for a prosperous, abundant family. So when a scholar brews tea with a bamboo teapot, it's not just a teapot, it's a quiet statement. It says, I'm also humble and principled just as bamboo. And when you see a fish into dragon teapot, it carries the parents' deepest wish, the hope that their child will rise and succeed in life, just as the cup leaps through the dragon gate. And this is what the naturalistic teapots elevates more than tools. They become an extension of personal character, a vessel for unspoken aspirations. And that's the one which is the most technically demanding among the three styles: the ribbed style. In the Zisha world, any teapot with evenly spaced vertical ribs and lobes is called 金囊器, the ribbed style. This even includes some naturalistic teapots that sculptured some relief decoration in a ribbed structure, like the chrysanthemum, water chestnut flower, or pumpkin. So, how do you recognize one? Imagine picking up a teapot. Its body is rounded, but across the surface run vertical grooves and ridges, arranged as evenly as the segments of a peeled orange, or the delicate folds of a flower bud about to bloom. That's a ribbed teapot. The inspiration behind this teapot is beautifully simple. It comes from anything from the nature has distinct lips and lobes. Among all the three styles, ribbed style is widely recognized as the most difficult one to make by hand. And that's said among the craftsmen. Better to make 3 plain teapots than a single ribbed one. On a standard ribbed teapot, the lines must flow continuously from the lid, through the body, all the way to the base, in one unbroken, perfectly even breath. It all comes down to one point: through connection. Each single mistake would break that connection. So if we were to price these teapots purely on craftsmanship rather than historical or cultural significance. The ribbed style would often be the most expensive of the three, and because of this extreme difficulty, the reality is that most ribbed teapots on the market today are made with the help of molds. A truly fully handmade ribbed teapot is exceedingly rare, and when you do find one, the price will be exaggerating. But here's the thing, despite the stunning sculptural details of the naturalistic style, or the captivating ridges and grooves of the ribbed style, they both share a common drawback. Their irregular surface make them harder to clean and maintain. And this is exactly why at the very beginning I told you fine people that plain teapot is the why most collectors eventually return to use. Because at the end of the day, Yixing Teapot, despite of its old craftsmanship, is still a teapot, a tool to brew tea. What you really focus on, it should be its functionality, how it works well while you use it. How simple, natural, clean the plain style is, makes it the easiest to maintain and clean and care for. So if you're a beginner about to start your Yixing Zisha journey, I would strongly advise you to choose a plain teapot as your first companion.